What in the world is that on his neck? Good morning, my beautiful farm fam. Welcome to Moreau Family Farm. My name is Jennifer. Today is just kind of like a chill, relax, sit back, enjoy this beautiful weather. It is cool outside. Seems like the sun is trying to pop out now that I found a nice place to sit and just kind of relax and look at my cows grazing in one of the areas that just grows really good grass. And we've kind of been letting the grass just grow in random spots. I've been mowing like in the front of the yard and stuff like that, but there's certain areas around our yard where we can just let the grass grow and tie the cows up and just let them out of pasture. Let that grass back in the pasture grow a little bit and let the big girls come out and just enjoy some really nice green fresh grass. So today we have Abby and Daisy. They are just out here. We had to burn some wood yesterday, so it might be smoking a little bit, but Daisy doesn't seem to be bothering it. But they are really enjoying just sitting here and eating up this really good grass. This is an area that we put down a lot of hay, like just really a few weeks ago, and we've had just a lot of rain. And through all the great rain that we've had, the grass is just growing really nicely. There are lawnmowers for now. We like it, they like it, and it's really nice to just be able to sit so close to the house and just see them. As you saw in the beginning of this video, one of our ducks has something wrapped around, looks like that guy there has a little beat up spot behind his head, which is fine because him and Charlie fight all the time, and it's a shame, but he is much bigger than Charlie is, and Charlie doesn't let down a good fight. And unfortunately, Charlie, which is that guy right there, is kind of suffering a little bit because he's been fighting so much. Every time that we see them fighting, we do break them up. We've tried to separate them. It does not work. Charlie really just needs a female, but we don't want to get him his own female until after we move, because we're really trying to move with the least amount of animals as possible. Update. So since I'm talking about that, we were supposed to close May 24th. We're having some issues with the appraisal. The buyers are going through a new lender to see if we can get them financed, or at least for somebody to finance the house, we'll put it that way. So they're trying to change the name of the structure of our home. It is typically like a bi-level home, but the VA appraiser is trying to turn it into a berm house, which, if you know anything about a berm house, I've heard the word before, but I didn't really know exactly what that meant. But basically, it's where there's usually grass that grows on the roof, and there is the earth on three sides of the home, which I don't understand why. After we've had 2 other appraisals done on this house, when we bought the house, and then when the people who bought the house that sold it to us, so there was 2 appraisals that were done, and it was on both appraisals it was listed as a bi-level home. But this appraiser wants to change, because it's a VA appraiser, they do things a little bit different, trying to change the kind of structure that we have. And as you can see, we have absolutely no grass growing on the roof of our house, and the only side that's really under the earth is really where the garage is, over on this side. and on this side over here we have a sunroom, and then like maybe, I don't know, a quarter of the way in, the ground does start growing upwards. So it's a tricky situation. My agent and the agent that I'm working with to buy our next house, she actually did lending for quite a few years. She said it's just going to take the right lender, and as long as our buyers here don't give up trying to find a lender, that it really shouldn't be an issue. Someone will lend them money to buy the house. So it's just dealing with the VA and different lenders and finding the right fit. And I do believe that our buyers are extremely invested. I mentioned that in the last video, that they are, you know, full force. They love the house. They've done everything they possibly can to make sure that they get the house and stuff like that. So they've already started working on a new lender. We'll find out on Monday whether or not this new lender will accept it. And we'll just kind of go from there. And if this isn't the right one, then hopefully they'll try another lender, and they'll keep on switching lenders until they find the right one. The only problem with that is that it's going to keep on pushing back our closing time and our moving date. So luckily, the house that we have an offer on, we were their first offer, but we put an offer very quickly. So their house has not been on the market very long. And hopefully they'll, you know, hang on for a bit, which I'm sure they will, because we're already under contract. We're invested. We've already had our inspection. We know all the things that need to be done to this house. And let me let you know, it is a lot. We will be very busy at the new home for quite a while. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a new adventure for us. We have done a lot of fixer-upper kind of things, but nothing to this extreme. We will be doing subfloors. We will do the joist underneath the floor needs to be replaced, and it's just a lot of stuff. We're going to be taking down walls, hopefully, opening up the whole house. The master bedroom is extremely tiny, so unfortunately that's something that's going to have to wait a little bit. But we have to redo bathrooms. We have to redo the kitchen. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be an undertaking. But it's going to be worth it in the long run. We have to make sure that we don't kill each other in the process, because going through renovations can be very, very challenging. So there will be a lot of praying involved. But that's okay, because we love to pray anyways, and it'll give us a good reason to stay focused and, you know, keep our eyes on the prize. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a journey, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So you want to make sure that you follow along, find out what's gonna happen, and if I can just ask you guys to please say a little prayer for us, that it appraises that value and stuff like that, we'd greatly appreciate that. So we're very welcome to your prayers. And yeah, so that's that on the house. Now, as far as the animals go, everybody pretty much will be coming with us to the new farm. Daisy will be coming, Abby will be coming. I know in the last video I mentioned selling Daisy, and I do plan on selling Daisy still, but I'm gonna wait until we go to the new house, just to keep Abby company for a short period till I figure out what we're doing. I really like Daisy. She's a great cow. She's very easily manageable. Man, I just don't want to give up on her yet. But, so we won't do anything with her until after we go to the new house, most likely. We're not 100% sure when we're going to be closing now. Like I said, the date was originally the 24th, which is coming up in just a few days. But now we're pushing it back probably to the original date, which actually was the 31st. But it could even go a little bit further than that. So there is no date set in stone yet, but it seems like it's definitely going to happen with the buyers that we have now anyways. Just hopefully all works out the way we need it to. Something else that I wanted to talk to you guys about was our baby goats. In the last video, I was explaining to you how I could not keep our goats in a pen because they were just jumping out of everything and they're extremely rambunctious, especially Piper's little boy, who we call Mister. He just gets out of everything. So what we've decided to do for the time being anyways, until we can get them sold, actually if we can get them sold, that would be a blessing, because it would be 2 less animals that we have to worry about. But you know, it is what it is. If we have to take them with us and then sell them after that, then that's fine too. But hopefully we can get them sold before then. But until we do get them sold, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna milk their moms once a day, because I honestly am getting very frustrated with trying to keep them separated, and you know, wondering, has the little guy gotten to his mom yet, or has he not? You know, what's the deal? Looking for him and all that other stuff. So we are separating them at night, and then in the morning we are milking Ruby and Piper, and then at night I'm just, well, of course I'm milking Bella too, and then at night I'm just milking Bella. Bella doesn't give a lot of milk. If you remember the story about Bella, she got pregnant very young. She was like 5 months old when she got pregnant, and yeah, so she had just turned a year old this month, actually in May, and she's doing really good. And honestly, I think that next year she is gonna have a really good udder, because she has a nice wide stance. She has that ability to grow a really nice udder, so I think she's gonna do really well in the future. I don't think she's the right fit for our farm, but she is a really good girl. She stands on the milking stand very well. I do not have to tie up her legs or anything like that. She is just a little angel on the stand, which is surprising, because she's not a little angel with anything else. She's a hyper little girl. She loves to run around and play still. She still has that young girl attitude, so it's kind of cute. But on the stand, she really is an angel. She just stands there and really behaves. So with that being said though, like I said, we're looking for really big milk producers, and even though she might be a great milk producer in the future, she's just not registered, and we want all registered stock, really excellent genetics and stuff. You guys know the story. I've talked about this 100 times probably. I'm looking at Abby. Abby finally noticed that I was over here, and she started walking over this way, but she can't come all the way over here. Her lead does not let her go that far. And if you notice, she has something hanging from her nose. I absolutely hated putting that ring on her nose, but you guys, let's just chat a little bit about this girl. She turned a year old on the 20th of this month. And this girl right here, we had her separated for 5 months, maybe even 6 months actually. For a whole half a year, we had her separated from her mom. And if you guys go back and watch one of the other videos that we did when I let her out into the pasture for the first time, she was really doing good. She went to her mom for a little bit, but then she stopped. Well, the other day, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago now, I caught her just sucking off her mom for probably about 15 minutes. And I'm like, that's it. You're a year old. There is no reason that she should be nursing off her mom. And honestly, her mom doesn't have any milk, although I did see a lot of foam around Abby's mouth. I think it was just her slobber, to be honest with you. I don't think that Daisy is producing any milk, because her udder, she doesn't have one. So I don't really think that she was like doing anything of that sort. But the thing is that it's a really bad habit, and I don't want this girl right here thinking that it's okay to still nurse from her, because it's not. She's way too old to be doing that. And a quick little story about that is like 2 years ago now, maybe 3, I don't know, the time is getting away from me, but we actually bought 3 Jersey cows, and they were all related. It was a mother and then 2 daughters. One of the daughters was 2 years old. The other daughter was a year old. Mom was still kind of in milk. The 1-year-old and the 2-year-old were still nursing off the mom, and that was a big no-no. We knew that the 1-year-old was, but then we saw that the 2-year-old was also, and those those girls were just a mess. They were very bossy. Actually, one's name was Bossy. But they were very pushy, very unhandled, and definitely not a good fit for us, because at that time we didn't know anything about cows. So it was kind of a scary situation. So we ended up selling all 3 of them. I did want to keep the 2-year-old, but everybody wanted her because she was the prettiest, and I'm like, you know what, I just don't even care, so let's just get rid of all 3 of them. And that's what we ended up doing. It's very hard when you keep on getting all these animals. The goats have been super easy for the most part, except for Hope and Hazel. I have not been able to get the 2 of them bred yet, which I'm not quite sure why, but it's all right at this point. I'm like, we can wait a little bit longer. It's not going to hurt them. If we don't get them bred this year, then we'll definitely just get them bred next year. Lady, stop being such a scaredy cat. She's so scared of the cows. She just doesn't know how to act around them. Are you a cow too? You're going to eat the grass? Are you going to eat the grass? Boy goats, they're going to stay with their moms during the day to make our lives a little easier, because things have been kind of hectic. You don't want to see my house right now. I've got boxes everywhere. The garage looks kind of clean, which is good, but everything else is just like a wild mess. Speaking of wild messes though, let me show you guys something that is so cool. Well, to me it's cool, and I feel very, very happy about it. Yesterday, my husband showed me that there was a zucchini, but then this morning I came out and I saw this little spot on it, so something was nibbling on it. But I moved it off the ground and put it up here, so hopefully it stays healthy. Oh look, what's that down there? I think a summer squash is starting to grow. Where is it? There it is. You see that little itty bitty summer squash? Yep, so we're going to have summer squash and zucchini soon. That is super exciting. Oh look, there's another one. Right there. So that's exciting. I love this time of the year when the vegetables start growing. I love it. This is a grapevine, and I actually cut it back just a little bit ago because, well, for one, all my goats got out one day when we went to go look at the house that we were putting the offer on, and they ate a lot of my plants that I'm growing. So they kind of got a hold of this one, and I trimmed it back, and it's actually looking really good. But that is a Concord grape, and it is coming with us. But if you guys remember, I planted just a bunch of squash and stuff like that for the new owners. I planted them pretty much a nice garden. So when they come, they're going to have a lot of, not like an overload of vegetables, but they're definitely going to have some nice stuff growing. And I think that's nice to be able to do something like that for somebody, especially when it's a new house and not really knowing the lay of the land and what can grow and what can't grow. And look, guys, does anybody know what this is right here? I was going to pick it, thinking that it was a weed, but I'm so glad that I let it grow, because I think that it's either, I don't know, it's either like a radish or something, because last year I tried growing some turnips or radishes or beets or something along this line right here, and everything died. So I think that's something that is left behind from last year. Also, with the clipping from the grapevine, I put one right here in the ground. Grapes growing on this side of the fence. I don't know if they're gonna love that, but they could always cut it back or move it or do whatever they want. But they're gonna have grapes close to the house, which is kind of nice. And as you can see, the green beans are starting to flower. So they're gonna have some green beans soon, or we're gonna actually have green beans soon, and share them with them. Look, there's a whole bunch starting to grow. the cucumbers have actually started to take off. So even the ones that were struggling really bad, which let me get this little roly-poly. The cucumbers are doing really well. Let me see if I can get this guy to wrap his little, what are they called? Tendril. I think that's what they're called. But I'm going to try to see if I can get him to hold on right here. Yeah, there he goes. So hopefully it'll stay held on to that, and then he'll just continue to grow up. But here's another one right here, and you can see there's little cucumbers that are going to start growing. So that's exciting, because every year I've tried to grow cucumbers in the last couple of years. They have not done well at all. You can see that there's something that ate that. Oh yeah, that was my goat, so don't worry about that. That's not from a bug. It's just from my little goats that escaped the day that we were out looking at houses. We were still out kind of like in the South Alabama, South Georgia area, and I get a call or a text message from my neighbor saying, hey, all your animals are out, or all your goats are out. And I'm like, oh no, we're still 5 hours away. So the neighbors came over and got all the goats put in the barn and stuff like that, which was such a blessing, because honestly, I don't know what we'd do otherwise. They would have just been roaming around by the time we got home, which was around 9 o'clock, or yeah, it was around 9:30 when we got home. So luckily all the goats were put up. But while they were out, they did get in my garden, and they did eat just some leaves and stuff. You know, they didn't completely destroy everything, so that is good. But they did get a hold of some things. This is a volunteer cucumber that popped up, so that's kind of cool. And this is a volunteer something. I honestly don't know what it is. I always say they look like kale, but it could be a broccoli for all I know. Look at all these beautiful plants. These are all the plants that I'm taking with me to our new house. Yes, that sounds crazy, but I want to be able to start a garden. Even if it's in the wrong spot when we get there, I want to be able to start just a small garden of some vegetables, just so we have something, some vegetable and herbs. And you can see here, the goats got a hold of my lettuce. They did. They started chomping at it, but it is what it is. I planted some zinnias right here, just for some pollinators. And over on, oh, it looks like something trampled the dog. She probably came over here. But these are peppers. So there's a few pepper plants over here. I have some, I think I planted like 8 tomatoes or so right in through here. Some more flowers over here, and then some more squash over here, which is going to start taking off very soon. But you can see there's a flower popping up right there. Another tomato right there. Another pepper right there. Just flowers here in the middle. And then another pepper right there. Another tomato right there. I'm trying to see if anything has... This was a volunteer cucumber right here as well. It doesn't look like they're doing so good. The cucumbers over on this side, these are either dar or gherkin. I can't remember which ones they are, but whichever ones, I'll figure out as soon as they start growing. I'll know which ones are which, but they're not doing so hot. This one's doing okay, I guess, but they are not really loving this area over here, and I'm not quite sure why. But they're trying to hold on, I guess. I just don't like the way they look, like the yellowing on the leaf. This over here is doing wonderful. So eventually all of these are going to spread out and just look really big and beautiful. Oh, let's go look at something else. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is. All of them bloomed at the same time. Isn't that gorgeous? And I love that the yellow with the purple in the background. So pretty. And then the clematis. They love to all bloom at the same time also. But that is kind of it. You guys know everything that's going on right now. You know our situation with the housing stuff. It's just been kind of crazy. God is always good. He brought us another buyer, and how can you not want to buy this house? Look at this garden. I mean, is that not beautiful? I'm going to miss this so much. So very much. I'm going to miss this. But, you know, the new owners of this house are going to love it as much as we do. They absolutely love the land. They love the house. So they're really going to appreciate this. Yeah. We have enjoyed, you know, shooting our videos here at this house for you guys. And we're going to continue to do that until we move. So follow along. Make sure you hit that little subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss when we post another video. And until next time, you guys be blessed. We'll see you then. Bye, guys.